Happy Monday. Happy Labor Day, everybody. It's the REKAP Lunch Hour with Guff. Me, Ryan McGuffey, coming to you on a beautiful, beautiful Labor Day and 1st of September here on the REKAP Lunch Hour. Appreciate you joining us. Didn't know if we were going to fire it up on the holiday, but before we get the cook-off going, before we get the cookouts, and before we put a bow on the unofficial ending of summer and a great holiday weekend, coming to you with some thoughts before the Cubs fired up against the Braves this afternoon, the White Sox in Minnesota this afternoon. It's officially game week in the NFL. Thursday night, we are kicking off the NFL season with the Eagles and Cowboys, and of course, the Bears and Vikings get it set on Monday night, a week from tonight. You know we're going to be juiced up. We're going to have content for you all week, and it's all brought to you by Hooters, originalhooters.com. Go to one of the 11 Chicagoland locations near you. Order.hooters.com to place an order to go to pick it up. Good day to get a Big Daddy mug and toast the holiday weekend. New specials, new football specials coming this week to Hooters. The long-legged Long Islands officially have expired on the drink of the month, and Jay True may get a breather. I want to know if this, we talk about the best sports time of the year. A lot of times March Madness, this comes up. I actually think it's right now. When you have a baseball team that's in contention like the Cubs are, when you have the start of college football and NFL football, you know that NBA and hockey training camps are right around the corner. While I might not love the idea of cooler weather, I do love the idea that the sports calendar is free-flowing. What we saw this weekend in college football was absolutely fantastic. And I know there's a lot of people who are PO'd that the Cubs finished 5-4 on the West Coast trip. The Colorado Rockies did snag a game yesterday. Why Palencia is pitching in a tie game. A lot of people questioning that, including Cap. We got some of our usual suspects here in the chat. How about Beard God Kell? Go Hurricanes. Big win for Miami last night. And what looked like CJ Carr was going to be a fantastic debut, by the way. 17 points in the fourth quarter by Notre Dame. Ties the game late. And then they give enough up yardage-wise to allow Miami to kick the 47-yard game-winning field goal, and the offensive line just got bull rushed by Miami in that last drive. Bear down week one. Here we go, Becky. Of course, she's going right to the Cubs. Need to take 2 of 3 from the Braves and sweep the Nats, and hopefully the Brewers can slump this. I would worry single-handedly about taking care of business in the wild card. The Cubs, it's almost a virtual certainty. They have a 9-game lead on clinching a wild card spot. Okay. 9 games. I don't see any scenario that the Cubs are not in the postseason. And John comes back with the Cubs are cooked. They're 19 games over 500. They have been for quite some time. It's been a very mediocre couple of months, 3 months to be exact, since June 1st. Okay. But they're not cooked. I mean, they're going to go to the playoffs. That's what's crazy. I mean, and I get it. It's about how you look, right? It's about how you look. The Cubs have the 8th best record in all of baseball since June 1st. All of baseball. And the 4th best record in the NL. Of course, the Brewers, 54-25 in a league by themselves. The Phillies at 43-36. The Padres at 44-37. And then the Cubs tied with the Dodgers and Tigers at 42-37. There's just been a lot of mediocrity. The real Phil Simms, 5-4 road trip. Are you kidding me? Completely unacceptable. They better go 5-1 on this homestand, blowing in from right field. Yeah, and then the Cubs also now have Aaron Savali, who the White Sox DFA'd yesterday, and the Cubs picked up. Sure, I guess it's some type of insurance down the stretch. I guess in theory it's Mike Soroka insurance since he's gone. Happy Labor Day to you, Kyle. Tough way to lose the game last night in Colorado. I like bringing in Santana to upgrade our bench. Let's get it against Atlanta. Go Cubs. Yeah, Carlos Santana, an underrated pickup by the Cubs. I love that pickup. He has been an AL Central nemesis for a long time, and good on the Cubs for picking him up. Where he fits and et cetera, we'll see. You know, do they have enough in the tank to chase down the Brewers? I don't think so at this point. Godfather's coming in. The team that's 19 games over 500 was playing way over their heads. The team we have seen since the break is the real Cubs, and the cheap owner refused to spend on a starter, experienced closer, etc. Of course, Godfather, We're going to want that quote once a day, my friend. Hoyer and company will have a lot of work to do in the offseason, Phil. Don't know what was tougher watching the Yankees blow chance to sweep the Sox or watching Bama get boat raced by FSU. I don't know if either was tougher. I mean, I had Alabama on Saturday with 6-6 in our picks. So just an up and down Saturday after an unreal Friday. I mean, unreal Thursday and Friday. Yeah. Hey, Kellen DeBoer, he could four losses by 14 or more points or something like that. 4 losses to unranked opponents in 14 games as Alabama head coach. That is not what you're looking for. No help from the front office. Players know it. Oh boy, we got the All-Star game. Whoopee! 1 week from today, Soldier Field will be rocking. Let's go Bears. Bear down. Of course, the fantasy drafts for those of you in the Renegade Fantasy League, a little bit of bumpy start there, obviously. They sent their apologies. Hopefully, a lot of you who are in the leagues are still there. $7,500. It got up to $7,500 after the issue with the draft on Saturday night. And it was last night. My son, he's got a team, so watch out for him. He's already trying to make trades. This guy's, he's scheming. He's a step ahead of me. As long as we're all 3 steps ahead of Cap. Wayne, I did not expect Notre Dame to be weak in the defensive and offensive line. They were pushed around the whole game. I was surprised by that, Wayne, especially on the offensive side. Notre Dame did not do what I thought they needed to do, which is control the line of scrimmage and run the football. CJ Carr ended up having to put the ball in his own hands late in the game, and he did. But I'm with you. I was a little surprised that Miami was able to penetrate and get to the quarterback like they were. Yeah, Kyle, it's tough to say. It feels like there's a for certainty lockout. Can't wait to make, then lose in the play-in again next year. Are you talking about, wait, the wild card's not a play-in anymore. It's an actual series. And John, you are right. The Cubs are thinking about 2032. Let's sell out the homestand so Ricketts can sign Tucker and more pitching. Wait, he's a liar too. You saw Jeff Passan over the weekend say he's in his straw polling that looks like Kyle Tucker might be more in the $400 million range, that he has cost himself a little bit of money. But $400 million, I think, is definitely happening. Kyle, bet my fellow Gamecock fan Katie was happy over the past 2 days. South Carolina wins and Clemson lost. Go Gamecocks, take that. Clemson. I was happy too. I had a little scratch on them. Week from today, Bears football. Actually, I'm nervous every time I want to win. The opposite happens. Hey, we just gotta keep the faith, Wayne. It's good to be optimistic every once in a while. Justin Turner is still with the team. At this point, he's staying, I think, Becky. They're going to keep him through the playoffs and see what happens. 7 more days. Everyone's jacked up about the Bears. I mean, happy Labor Day. Guff still under the luxury tax. There it is. They're not getting rid of Turner. No. 1 spot each. The White Sox added there too. Eagles, Cowboys. Let's go Giant Meteor, says John. Eagles will raise their banner. I think then they'll boat race the Cowboys. I really believe that. Yeah, Kyle gets the clarification, of course. Rest in peace, Clemson, Alabama, Notre Dame. Notre Dame and Clemson are going to be fine. I think they'll be just fine. Alabama, though, they got to look in the mirror. Notre Dame and Clemson are going to be okay. Both those teams are going to be in it, I think, all season long. They have really good football teams. Turner could be a bench coach. In theory, Becky, Boomer Sooner, yeah, saw them play over the weekend. In theory, Becky, Justin Turner kind of is. Cubs could have easily lost 2 out of 3 in Colorado. There's Astros, and he's right. Guffer, umpires intimidating by the aura of the Yankees team. Strikes are called differently watching the game. Yeah, I noticed that too. I don't know. I really don't know. Kyle, Arch Manning was shaky in his first true test against Ohio State. He'll learn from the mistakes and make adjustments. Steve Sarkisian drives me nuts with his play calling. I thought his game plan sucked. I really did. I expected more. I expected the passing game to be more wide open. I thought he was super conservative in what he was asking Arch Manning to do. A lot of 5 to 10 yard throws. And then you saw him late in the game when he needed to make plays. He threw a couple of balls that only pro quarterbacks could make. I mean, insane. That one down the sideline to the tight end where it was over the corner and in front of the safety, it could only be in one spot, and it was. It was really frustrating, actually. I thought that. I don't want to take anything away from Ohio State's defensive line. Those 4th downs inside the 10-yard line, the play calling sucked, but you got to give credit where credit's due, and they were shutting Texas down near the goal line. Too bad it's 1 week away from Monday Night Football. That's all right. Enjoy the week that we have in front of us. David, happy Labor Day. How did your Renegade draft go? I've got Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, Xavier Worthy ready for week 1. I don't love my team. I liked where my 3 picks were headed on Saturday night before the draft crashed because of the Verizon outage. Completely different team now. I got locked out of the draft during. So I'm gonna, David, trust me, I'll be ready to play come Thursday. I don't hate my team. Phil, I wouldn't be concerned about Arch Manning. There's a reason why Ohio State's the defending national champs. Don't be surprised when they meet in the playoffs. Second best sports time of the year, says Astros. The best is March to early April. Major League Baseball starting. March Madness, NBA season, and final push in the Masters. Yeah, but there's no football in there. And give me the football with just unbelievable week 1 matchups. And then Major League Baseball pennant races. Okay. NBA season. I hear you. I think I think we got it down to those two. Kurt, I believe you and I are going toe to toe, my friend, in week 1. I'm glad you're here. I think it's you versus me. I hear so many Cub fans complain about Owen Casey getting a raw deal. Come on, folks. Casey will get a shot when Jed and Tommy Nichols make a fake lowball offer to Tucker, and then he leaves, then he'll start. It was that whole thing with him coming up, not having a spot, now going, I thought it was poorly handled. I could see that, Becky, because of if they feel like they're not running down the Brewers, I could see that down the stretch. I really could. Nothing like a bullpen day in the playoffs. Bullpen days, man, they're more frequent than ever with teams that are really good. Phil, don't know why they didn't go after Walker Buehler. Oh, wait, that would make too much sense. Well, let's not paint Walker Buehler as he's got an ERA 5.5. Maybe they tried. Maybe he saw the Phillies as a better shot to win. It's a fact. I mean, I would have tried to go in after him too. I really would have. What do you think of Micah Parsons going to the damn Packers? It's a great trade for both. I would have never traded a 26-year-old on the way to the Hall of Fame pass rusher at this point. I am not to the belief, though, that the Green Bay Packers all of a sudden are NFC favorites. I'm not. So I think it makes them a concern 2 times a year, and we don't have to worry about it until week 14. What he does leading up to week 14, I don't think matters. So, yeah, it sucks that it's the Packers, but it really only impacts us twice a year. Colson Montgomery is real. 10 home runs in the month of August, ties Jose Abreu rookie record for most home runs in a month as a rookie. 10. 15 bombs for Colson Montgomery since the break. I mean, folks, give the man some due. 15 bombs. And when you go to post All-Star break and you look at home runs, he's only 3 players have more. Kyle Schwarber, of course, with 19, Shea Langoliers, and Junior Caminero down in Tampa. And that's it. And when you look at RBIs, Colson Montgomery's 3rd in the majors. Schwarber, Vinny Pasquantino, and Colson Montgomery. Cheap move after cheap move. Santana, Savali, big deal. I don't think it's more about trying to add cheap. You're right. Late in the year. I don't think they're going to release Turner. I don't. I think that I really don't. I'd be surprised. Will the Packers win the Super Bowl with Mike? Now, in the next 3 to 4 years, that's kind of what they just said they were going. They just said that that's what they're trying to do. Whether or not they do it, it's hard to predict Super Bowls. I think they need a little bit more from their quarterback, and they need more upgrades offensively. Will the Cubs pretend to offer Tucker a deal so Casey can start and Jed can say he tried? Possibly. I think everything's on the table, guys, after what we saw all in at the trade deadline. Isn't Alcantara up now with the team? I don't think the Cubs have announced these moves yet. Let me get you the up to the latest with the Chicago Cubs. Okay, Carlos Santana was just officially announced 2 minutes ago, as was Aaron Savali. Okay, here's the Cubs starting lineup today. Michael Busch, Kyle Tucker, Seiya Suzuki, Ian Happ, Nico Horner, Carson Kelly, PCA, Dansby Swanson, Matt Shaw, Colin Ray on the bump. Here are the roster moves by the Cubs. They have announced them. Casey, he's going to Iowa. Santana is in. Aaron Savali is in. Kevin Alcantara is up, and Ben Cowles has been DFA'd. So there you go. Those are your up-to-the-date roster moves by the Cubs. Guff, what's the impact in the Bears locker room with the Pack getting Parsons? They keep playing. What other teams don't impact locker rooms. They don't. I think they go, okay, fine. The best division of football just got better. But I don't think that they're sitting there going, oh God, well, we got no shot. I can promise you. That's not what they're thinking. Hooters, September deals are rocking because it's officially fall in football at Hooters. Can't wait to see what the new specials are. The drink of the month, always $8. The everyday cocktails at $6 all day long. And the lunch specials, 11 to 3. The OG wings, the boneless wings, and the hamburger. Yes, I said the hamburger. The burger, underrated at Hooters. Tender tacos are always a staple. The shrimp tacos, always a staple. And the cinnamon pretzel bites, the McGuffey House. We love them dearly. The Big Daddy mugs are a-flowing. Check out the Sam Adams Oktoberfest because it's officially fall. Unofficially fall, but officially fall at the same time. Go watch your, I just saw the one by our house here, the Hooters O'Hare. It says every game, including the Packers. Well, maybe. My son and I have a couple fantasy teams. We got to make sure we can see all the games. He's already ready to rock in the Renegade Fantasy League. I know he's coming after Cap. It's all brought to you by Hooters, a proud partner of the Recap and the Recap Lunch Hour. With Santana now, the Cubs made sure they don't have any salary cap miscalculations like last year. Let's hope. Who wins the series with the Sox and the Twins? Ugh. It's death and not. No. I think the Sox actually probably find a way to win the series. I really do. Can't buy into the Caleb Williams hype, says Nathan. The kid gets the yips when the pocket collapses, and that's kind of standard with the Bears. I'm not going to put Caleb Williams into the same bucket we've put every Bears quarterback in from the past. Not going to do it. Let's see what happens when they actually have a coach now that knows what he's doing. We'll be at Wrigley tomorrow night and expect to see Show to handle business. Terry, Cubs pick up Savali, Phillies pick up Bueller. Jokes on the Phillies because Savali has way more upside. I don't know why you guys are all... Walker Bueller has been just as bad as Aaron Savali this year. I mean, don't go... Like, seriously, do yourself a deep dive and look at what's out there. All right? Becky says Hoyer's an effing liar. All right. Is it true that the 2032 schedule is ready to go? The common quote that we see daily. Guff, the one team I can always count on, Chelsea FC, got another win. They always put up a positive spin on the mediocrity in Chicago. Let's go Blues. What does Alcantara have that Casey doesn't? Less service time probably at this point. I mean, seriously, they saved some service time by sending Owen Casey back down. I know we're complaining about Ricketts, but at least he doesn't have PTSD and trades his all-star potential Hall of Fame defensive player. Touche. Clemson, Notre Dame, and Alabama, it's only the first game of the season. Yeah, you got to know in college football, though, you got to start getting right pretty quick. Notre Dame's got Texas A&M, I believe, next. Check out Google. It's pretty good. What's the OU on how many times they show Belichick's girlfriend on TV tonight? Ooh, 4.5. You'll probably take the over. You know what? That's alluding to my bet of the day coming here in just a few minutes. Guff, explain to me why Javier Assad seems to have been on the shuttle between Iowa and Wrigley. Yes, he has. But when you don't use up options every single time you go up and down. So I think it's more of just like a roster calculation than anything else. It is. Oh, Nathan, we have another Vikings fan in here. Skull this. Guff, how many home runs has Montgomery hit in a full season? Well, somebody asked this last week. He's on pace for 50 plus. I don't see him as a 50 plus homers. Maybe he's a 30 homer guy, which right now he's well on pace for a lot more than that. But I think he's answered a lot of questions, including what you can rely on him for. And I think 30 home runs is very much in that bat, which I think changes how you approach the rest of your lineup. Because you need to I'd like to have 3 homer guys. September 1st, now the pennant races get real. Let's do this. Casey and Assad poorly handled. When does counsel say the Brewers are out of reach? He will never say that until the Cubs officially, their magic number. Until the Brewers clinch the NL Central, you'll never hear him publicly say that. Yankees get calls because Aaron Boone and company constantly chip from the dugout and slowly wear the umpire down. 1 or 2 calls can make a difference, of course. All this is below Craig Counsell. Godfather, instead of let's get some runs after the stretch, everyone say, let's spend some money and let El Cheapo hear you. That's pretty funny. Guff, week 1, careful what you wish for. You first, then Cap. Hey, Kurt, I like it, man. You might as well. This is like week 0 in college football. Primetime matchups, my friend. But just know, I'm coming to kick your ass. And with all due respect, because you're an OG part of this show. Going for wins. Aroldis Chapman signed an extension with Boston. Sure wish right now he was a Cub. Need more bullpen depth. But the Red Sox were never trading him because they're in the playoffs themselves. Since the Bears don't play them until week 14, hopefully Parsons is a little tired and beat up by that and won't be as big of a factor. I don't know. He's one of the best players in the NFL. Another great performance by Angel Reese in a losing Sky effort. Wake up when their season's over. Yeah, Kyle, no offense. I'm looking forward to no more Sky updates because they are one of the worst teams in the entire WNBA. Can the Cubs get Durant, Cease, and Gore in the offseason? Not asking for much, Guff. Yeah. After a team that didn't go all in at the deadline, I don't know about that. For 2025-26, Parsons' trade actually affects Bears once. If no trade, they would have faced him in Dallas game. Yes, it probably impacts the entire – I understand what you're saying, Ira. It impacts the entire division, but you can't worry about the roster of somebody else. I don't know, man. The way he's been playing lately, heck yeah, he does. What are those odds? Probably they're probably the lightest odds, actually. Here, Colson to hit a homer today. Let's take a look. Plus 320. Plus 320. One of the couple of Buxton and Matt Wallner have the best odds, and then I think it's from there. It's Colson. Yep. They have Parsons, but they still have Jordan Love. Carter, is it wrong? I'm watching the Cubs, but I have little faith they make noise. And thank you, Carter. Thank you for being a part of that non-making noise situation. Let's look at the bet of the day. The college football bets are here. Anytime I can play college football, Lip Ripper will be excited about that. And Georgia Tech did come through on Friday night, 27-20 at Colorado. Really loved them. They turned the ball over enough. That game should have been way, way different than the score, but the turnovers. All right, I'm going against Bill Belichick in his first game as a college head coach. I saw it's going to be a stars among stars in Chapel Hill. Michael Jordan's going to be there. Mia Hamm's going to be there. Julius Peppers is going to be there. A bunch of dignitaries. It kind of reminds me of when Deion Sanders first got to Boulder. That type of pomp and circumstance and kind of private planes, etc. TCU's got a quarterback, 4-year starter at quarterback. Yes, the transfer portal's been real for everybody. Yes, I expect Bill Belichick to dial it up. I can see the under being a big play here early in the first half. I'm going with TCU, though. I'm going with somebody who's more experienced in the overall college football aspect. Very rarely do I like betting against Bill Belichick, but this whole thing's weird. The whole thing is. And for the first game, and you can see, for the first game, I'm laying the 3.5 tonight with TCU, and I feel strong about it. I feel really good about it. You see how I've recalibrated. We're starting at September 1st. Yes, college football started. I counted those as my 1-1. You see them over there in the CFP. August, we wrapped up at 10-14. We are now 0-0. Clean slate here on Labor Day. 0-0 for year to date because it's officially NFL game week, and we are using TCU as part of our new year to date. I will include the all-time record. Okay, we can include the all-time record so we don't forget where we came from. I love TCU tonight. I really do. John Belichick's golf. If that's the case, I really love them. Really love them. Real Phil Sims, have fun at the game and don't tell Ricketts you know me. You'll be tossed out after you buy an $85 dog and beer, of course. I love that the price keeps going up. Swayze not really in love with my fantasy team. Tell Cap I might be eating some crow, but we'll see. Hey, don't tell Cap that yet. He'll probably forget that he's got to set his lineup on Thursday. All right? So just go out and ready to go. Guff, do you think Ricketts cares that fans are ticked off even with the 8th best record in baseball? I do not. I don't. Clyde, what's up? How did the Chicago Cubs get Aaron Savali after one day of waivers from the White Sox when they didn't put him on? I think, didn't the Sox DFA him? This stuff's, I think immediate release. Who cares? Do we care about the Cubs picking up Aaron Savali? My dark horse for NFC title, Tampa Bay. My quarterback in our Renegade League is Baker Mayfield because I know the dude's going to throw a boatload. Cody Bellinger's having quite the season and has largely stayed healthy, but the Cubs couldn't afford both. Appreciate you, Eric. Happy Labor Day to you. Loved your video the other day, by the way. Does anyone truly believe that Ricketts and Jed will spend $400 for Tucker with a strike looming? I think it's fair to doubt everything. I really do. I really think it's fair to doubt everything. There's the bet of the day, TCU minus 3.5. I'm laying it tonight. Godfather, you really are the best. Biblical losses after the pandemic. Exactly. TCU, we're starting with a clean slate. Year to date, 0-0. We put a bow on August, 10-14. College football off and running at 1-1. Holiday version. Go get the cook. Go in this weather, folks. This is about as good of a day as you could order up on a holiday. Don't understand how council manages these days because you don't put Palencia in a tie game in the ninth when they could have went with Keller or Pomerantz. And I think everyone, including the Cubs postgame show and Cap, said the same thing after the game. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll be back tomorrow as we get set and ready to go for a normal week and a game week with the Chicago Bears kicking off Monday night against the Minnesota Vikings. Appreciate all of you, as always, making this community. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Get outside and enjoy the day. It's fantastic, okay? No one's got to work. Let's get out there. Maybe get a hot dog. Maybe get a burger. Maybe get both. Appreciate you guys. It's all brought to you by Hooters, originalhooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations near you. We'll be in Downers Grove, September 23rd. Make your plans to be with us. Order.hooters.com. Have it delivered straight to your door. As always, have a great day. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the holiday. Enjoy your company. Enjoy yourselves. See you tomorrow.